features. In this video, I'm going to explain a little bit about the features that I've known so far about this Google Classroom. In this video, I'm going to tell you on how to give assignment to your students, and then I will show you briefly how it will appear from student side. And the last one, I'm going to show you how to grade the assignment that you have given to your students after they submit it back to you. Okay, so let's start. The first thing is about your main page. So in your main page, when you open your Google Classroom, you will see a lot of classes here. In here, I only have two classes. One is science class and the other is math class. My science class has 0 students and my math class has 2 students. For this video, we are going to go with our math class. So there are 4 tabs that you can find in the top. One is the stream. In here, you can share something with your class. You can share some file from your Google Drive. You can share a link, a file from your PC, or a Google link if you want to. And then you can allow your students to give comments so that you can open discussion here in this stream part. And then when you assign something to your students, as you can see here, that I have assigned many stuff for my students here. Some of them have comments, some of them not, only for the purpose of this guide. So next is classwork. This is mostly where we will create assignment for our students. Let me remove this first. So in the classwork, you will have 3 main features that you are going to use a lot. But before we go into that, I'm going to talk about topic. You see here that I have this measurement. This is one of the topics that I will have in this class. So let's say that I want to create another topic, term for material, for example. So another topic will appear here. This is just to help your students to arrange the file or the assignment that you give them, that you will give them. So after that, the 3 main feature that you are going to use is this material, question, and assignment. You can see it from the logo. There are 3 different logo. One is the material. When you give them the material, let's say that material chapter 1 material. You give chapter 1 material, read the file attached below. And then you can add the file that you want to give for your students. Material 1, then you can upload it. Other than that, you can add a YouTube link or a link to the web that you want your students to open so that it's easy for them. They just have to click it and they will be guided to that page right away. So it's your choice. And then after that, this topic here, you can put it in a topic that you have created. Just now I create it in term for material, right? But let's say that you do not put it in a topic. So when you post it, it will appear here in a non-topic spot. Let's say that you want to put it in one of the topic, it's very easy. You just have to drag it. You can just put it in the topic that you want to. Okay. For now, we will use this term for material topic for this video. So that is about the material. Next, the next feature will be question. So there are 2 types of question that you can give them. One is a short answer question and the other one is a multiple choice question. In a multiple choice, you can just put the question here, 1 plus 2. And then it's up to you if you want to give instruction or not. And then you can show them 1, 2, 3, the option 4. You can create as many options as you want to. And then the same thing, you will put a topic. You can insert a due date. Let's say that I want the due date to be tomorrow, 25. And then the time will be 11 a.m., for example. then you can ask your students. Yeah. So if you see just now, this students can see class summary means students will be able to see what the other students answer or the class answer, but only after they have submit their work to you. So it's up to you if you want to allow them to see it or not. That's about the first question. The other type of the question that you can give them is the short answer type of question. In this one, let's say that the question is, how are you? Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. You can put question something, some question like explain, sorry, give opinion about the picture. Check the picture attach, and then you can just have attach the picture. You attach it there. The picture is there. This is your question. And then the same, you can put the due date if you want to. You can put it in a topic. These two boxes, if you allow the students to be able to reply to each other, means after they submit their work to you, they will be able to see their friend's answer. And then they can even comment on their friend's answer. Usually this will be for the purpose of open discussion between your students, so that your students can learn one from another. And then students can edit answer. If you allow your students to be able to edit their answer after they submit, it is also possible just by ticking this box. Okay, so you will ask. That is about the question. Now the last feature that I want to tell you is the assignment feature. Actually, this assignment and the quiz assignment are the same, but before we get into that, I want to show you how to create your own worksheet. So let's say that we go to your Drive. You will go to Drive. In the Drive, you can create your worksheet in a Google Docs, Google Sheet, or Google Form. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to create it. You will just right click here, and then you can create Google Docs, Google Sheet, or Google Form. I'll show you how to create with a Google Docs. You can just type your question here. For example, question number 1. Sorry, what is the third planet from Sun? Then number 2, what is the planet from the Sun? I'm so sorry. What is the planet furthest from the Earth? Okay, for the sake of time, I will just put the question here. After you are done with the question, you don't have to save it, or we can change the name of the file, planet, for example. That is the name of our file. It will be auto-save, so give it some time. You don't have to do anything, you just have to close it. And then if you refresh your Drive, it will appear here. It should appear here. You see this planet? Okay, so that's one. Making questions using planet, using Google Docs or Google Sheets. The other one is you can create questions using Google Form. This is the type, one of the type of question that has been done. I'm going to show you how to create one. Google Form. Once it's open, what you can do is there are two places for you to put the title on. This title will be the title that will be seen by your students when you put it in the Google Classroom, while this one is the type of the one that will be seen when you put it in the Google Drive. In here, if you see from the one that I have created, the UT one, this is this big one, the top one, I'm sorry. And then in here is the unit test chapter 10, right? So it will be the one that I put here. So let's create the next one, unit test 2. For example, this is chapter 11. So what you can do is you can create as many questions as you want to. There are some type of questions that you can give to your students. One of them will be multiple choice, and then you can have short answer type of questions, paragraph, and some other stuff, but I haven't tried the other, so we are going to concentrate on this top 3 here. I will show you one with the multiple choice type of question. The second one I will show you about the short answer, and then the last one, just click the plus box here. I will show you about the paragraph. Okay, so now let's start creating the question. Before we start creating the question, the good thing about this Google form is it can auto grade for you. The system can grade it for you if you want to, can score it for you. How do you do that? You will go to this setting, you will go to the quiz, and then you will click this, make a quiz, make this a quiz. I will tell you the other stuff after we are done making the question, okay? So make a quiz. Now you can add answer key. You see this answer key option now appear, and then there is point. You can assign how many points for each question, and then you can assign the answer key later on. So what you can do is you will write your question here. You can attach picture as well. Even in the option, you can attach picture. Choose the picture with the most color. And then for the option 1, I will just assign a picture. Let's say that this one, option 1, and then upload, and then option 2, put in the picture, and then option 3, add option, put in the picture. Okay, for the sake of time, we will just go with 3 options. Okay, so what you are going to do after this is you have to put the answer key. So you click this answer key button. Now you see that you can assign the point for this question, right? Let's say that I put 20 points. And then you will choose the correct answer. And then you click that. Now your question will have answer key right already. And then you can see the total points here, because this is the first question that I assigned the point to. So now let's go to the second question, short answer. So give me one word that describe the picture. This time let's try to attach the picture to the question, so that later on you can see how it will appear in your from the student's point of view. Okay. Well, then after that, when you click the answer key, this time it will be, you can still put the point, but the type of the answer key will be different. Now you have to add a correct answer. Let's say that you add the correct answer cute, for example. So you have to notice that this answer is case sensitive. So if you write the cute with the uppercase C, let's say that your students answer cute with the lowercase c, it will be wrong. But you can give as many possible answer as you want to. So for example, your students answer cute, it will be correct, and then colorful, also correct, let's say. So when your students answer cute, it will be counted as correct, 30 points. If your students answer colorful, it will be counted as correct as well. Uh, and then you see this box here, mark all other answer incorrect. It is depends on after they have done. I mean, it will be different for the score. So let's say that they do this question and then they submit it to you. Usually they will be able to see their score right away. If you mark all other answers incorrect, that means if they answer it other than these two, that means it will be counted as 0 point right away by the system. You can change it later on if you want to, but the system will count it as wrong first because you mark all other answer incorrect. But if you do not tick the box, if they answer other than this option that you put here, it will be counted as a non-graded question, which means you have to grade it first, you have to score it first before they know their final score. Okay, I hope that's understandable. The last one is the paragraph type of question. What is house? For the paragraph type of question, when you click the answer key, you will not be able, you can still put the point, but you won't be able to insert any correct answer. Why? Because it's impossible for the system to grade the paragraph type of answer. So you have to grade it or you have to score it manually. Okay, I hope you understand about this. So now you see that my question has a total point of 100 already. Now I'm going to show you the feature in the setting. The first one is the general feature. Collect email address. I will suggest you to do so that you will be able to know who has how many score. Who among your students has get 10 point, who among your students get 20, get 30 by seeing their email address. And then the requires to sign in. You can limit your students to be able to give you one response only, or else they will be able to send as many response to you, as many answer to you. So limit it to one response. Since I'm not using a domain email, I don't have the other option here, but usually I will have the other option, which allow me to receive response from the domain itself, because my school use our own domain. So I can just tick that box, and when my students want to submit their work, it has to be from that email. It cannot be from any other email. So they cannot use their private email. They have to use their school email when they want to give me a response. Oh, this response receipt means once your students sign in, turn in the work to you, they will get a copy of their own answer. Maybe for them to review it later, it will be very good for them. Edit after submit. The same with the questions before. If you allow them, if you want to allow them to edit their answer, then please tick it. Okay, and then see the summary charts and text responses if you want to allow them to do so. The presentation, show progress bar so that they know how many questions they have answered. Let's say that you have a lot of questions so that they do not miss on one or two questions. Shuffle the question order means students A number one will be different from students B number one. Students A number one might be in number three for students B. And then this show link to submit another response is not possible since I only allow my students to give me one response. That is about the presentation. The quiz, one make this a quiz to allow you to assign point for every number. Two is release grade. This is the one that I'm talking just now. You can immediately release the grade after each submission, so your students will be able to check their score right away. However, as I told you that the system will not be able to score this long paragraph or the short answer if you do not mark all other answer as incorrect, right? So when they, let's say that they finish this quiz, they can see the score, but it's not the score for number 3 and not the score for number 2 if they answer it differently. I will show you about that later. Or you can release the grade later after you review it manually or after you score it manually. And then the respondent can see the missed question, means they will be able to identify which questions were answered incorrectly. Usually I will just untick it, and then correct answer, your students will be able to see the correct answer after they submit, after the grade is released. After the grades is released. So it's up to you if you want to tick it or not. And then the point value is the students will be able to see the point value for each number. And then you just have to save it after you are done. Okay, now you see this all changes save in Drive, means it has been changed. The stuff has been saved in your Drive. You just have to close it. So how you are going to assign it? So let's go back to our classroom. We are going to talk about our last feature about the assignment. The first thing that you can do with the assignment obviously is ask your students to do textbook page 207, for example. Then you give them the instruction, do it in a book and take a clear picture of it, then submit it here. Okay, so you can add file if you want to. You can add some picture if you think it might help them, or you can just create your own question, take a picture of it, and then put it in here, also possible if you want to do so. And then there will be, in terms for material, the same due date. If you want to put on the due date, it's up to you. Okay, so the difference, before we continue further, the difference between this assignment and the question is, in the questions type of assignment, the students will be provided with a space for them to answer. If it's a short answer, they will be provided with a space. If that is a multiple choice, they will be given the choice that they can choose. But for the assignment itself, the students will not be provided with any space for them to type in something. So what they will usually do is they will attach something. They can attach picture, they can attach file, they can attach video. So you can be creative with how you give the assignment. The second type of assignment is the assignment that you attach for them. Remember that just now we create this question about planet, right? Actually, I have another class assessment about this Excel. So we will see. I will just put the file here from my Google Drive because I have created it before. If you haven't created it, you can just create a new one here by choosing this. I will show you about that later after this one. And let's say that I want to ask them to do 2. Where is the one that, no, let's just do one for now. Okay, so after this, this will be the same. No, this will be the same for both Google Docs and Google Sheets. Where is it just now? This CA. So what you can do is you can choose if your students can view the file, can edit the file, and make a copy for each student. I'm so sorry, I do not really understand about the difference between these two, between view the file and edit the file, because I tried both. And in both options, the students can still edit the file. But I do understand about this, make a copy for each student, which means that this question will be sent to your students, and every student will have the same file. So the file will be duplicated, as many as your students that you assign this to. What the students can do is the students can change the document right away, the docs or the sheets right away, and then put in their answer there. And then when they submit it to you, you will receive a different file from every student. I will show you later on. Do the file attached below. Okay, and then the instruction, open the file and answer it in the file. After that, let's put this term for material, no due date, and then you can assign it. Okay, so that is about the assignment. The last one is to attach Google Form. So what is the difference between this assignment and quiz assignment? When you choose quiz assignment, it will generate a Google Form right away. But just now we have created one ourselves, so we do not need this one. When you close it, it's the same as the normal assignment. So you can just do it in the assignment, and then you can just create, if you want to create Google Form, and then you will see that like before it will generate a Google Form for you. You click it and then you create it like how we create this before. But since we have created it, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take from my Google Drive. Just now is a unit test 2, right? The one that we just created. So we put it here, quiz time. Pop quiz. Good luck. Okay. And then the same, the topic, the due date, and the other. This will allow your students to answer the Google Form right away, and then the system will grade it for you. Okay, last but not least, the reuse post. This is very useful. Let's say that you had parallel class and then you want to post the same stuff in both classes. You don't have to do it over. You can just click reuse post, and then I'm sorry, wait. Let me show you. If I go to my science class, let's say that I want to post another one. So I will just create and then I will reuse post the pop quiz, and then I will reuse it. Make a copy of all attachment. That means everything attached in the assignment that you want to copy will be attached here as well. Like this. We will reuse. So now you see that it has the attachment as well, and then you can just assign. If you want to use the same stuff in the other class. So now let's go back. It won't change anything from here anyway. Oh, one more thing is you can schedule your assignment, your quiz as well. Let's say that share note. Tell me about your holiday. So let's say that you want them to tell you about your holiday. Send, submit in form of picture, video, or Google Docs, for example. And then what you can do is you can just schedule it. I don't want it to be today. I want it to be posted by tomorrow at 25 March. And then I want to put specific time. Let's say that I want it to be posted at 11 a.m. Then you can just schedule it. And then you will see in your class, it will be posted, but it will be considered as schedule here. Right? So the difference is you can see that the other one has like a bright color in the logo, but this one is a little bit darker because it's not posted yet. while the other has been posted, and some of them has a due date. So that's how you are going to give assignment to your students. Now I'm going to show you a little bit how is it going to appear in your students site. So when your students go to their classwork, they will be able to see this. I actually can tell your students that if it's still bright in your students, the logo still bright, that means they haven't done it. If it's dark, that means they don't have anything to turn it in. That's why if it's material, since they don't have to turn in anything, but they can check the material, so it will always be present as dark. If it's the question just now, you see that this is the box that I'm talking about. They can answer in the box and they can turn in. After they turn in, if you allow them to be able to see the class summary, they will be able to see the class summary. How many choose answer 3? Oh, there are 1 student who choose answer 3. There are 0 students who choose answer 4. That's how can they see the class summary. And then there is another question, give opinion about the picture. You see that the file is attached here, but they can type their answer here. After the picture is cool. After they answer it, they can turn it in. And just now we allow them to edit, right? Oh, do we allow them to edit? Oh, I don't think we allow them to edit. If you allow them to edit, they will be able to edit the answer here if you allow them to do so. And then since you opened the discussion, that means they can see their classmates' answer. They will be brought to their classmates. Usually there should be a lot of name here. They can reply to their classmates' answer if they want, if you allow them to do so. That is about the question. And then your assignment will appear like this in your student site. One is you see that you ask them to do the textbook and then do it in the book, take picture and submit. So you see their answer space. There is no place for them to type or to choose option, right? So what they can do is they can add or create. They can add the file. Let's say that they have take picture or record something. They can put the file here. Or if you allow them to answer or submit to you in a Google Docs form, they can just create a docs and then they will click on it. They will type their answer, close it, and then turn in if you allow them to do so. Take note that when you use assignment, they can always unsubmit and submit again. Let's say that your students want to change their answer. They unsubmit, they add something, they erase something, then they turn in again. That's possible. And there is no way to prevent that from happening. A little bit different from the question just now. If it's a question, they will not be able to edit their answer if you do not allow them. But in here, they can always unsubmit their answer and then submit again. Okay, so that is 1. 2 is the one that you ask them to do, but you provide them with the file. Do you see the difference that with the question before, the file that you attach will appear here, right? But in this case, the file will appear on their answer box, which means they can answer it. They can just click it. They can edit the file, which means their answer. Sorry, the Earth, and then Neptune. So after that, when they close it, it is changed, and then they can just turn it in. I do not do anything from the second one. We will see it later. Okay, so this they have submitted. That's about the assignment when you attach Google Docs or Google Sheets there. So how about another assignment when you attach the Google form? So if you notice that it's not in the workspace, but it's in here. So what they will do is they will click it. They can just answer right away. Since I'm not using a domain, this email do not use any domain. That means I still have to put in the email address. And then you see, choose the picture with the most color. This one. What is house? Hmm, a building. And then give me one word that describe the picture. Just now we put answer key as cute, but with uppercase C, right? I will show you that I answer cute as well, but with this one with lowercase c. And then I submit the answer. Because I allow them to see the score right away, they can view their score. And you see that this is 20 out of 100 because only this correct. But the paragraph, they have to wait until their teacher score it. And for the second one, for this short answer type of question, even though the answer is correct, however, since the case is different, the answer key using uppercase and this one using lowercase, it do not give any score. But if you click the box just now to mark all other questions incorrect, it will be 0 right away. So it's your choice. You can still change the answer if you want to. Okay, so that's uh, how is it from your student side. So now we are going to the grading. How are we going to grade it? So we are going to grade it by going to the classwork, and then you can just open the one that you want to grade. Let's say that I want to grade this. You see the question. Oh, my students have turned in. You see that this Yihia answer 3. And then how many grades you want to give them, you can just put it here. Let's say that I want to give them, okay, the answer is wrong. The questions actually will appear here. This is only your student's answer. The answer is correct, so I will give 100, for example. Or the answer is wrong, I want to give only 60. It's also possible. When you do not return the grades, you will see here, saving, we will wait until it's going into draft. That means your students will not know the score yet. If you want your students to know the score, you have to return the score. Now your students will be notified and they will be able to know their score or their grade. Okay, so that's how you are going to grade the multiple choice question. The same with the short answer question. Short answer type of question, the answer will be here. The picture is cool, you can just grade it. You can see the answer from the other students, but the other students haven't done it yet. Now for the attachment, and for the assignment, I mean. So this assignment, you see that I have two students here. One has done it. There is an attachment. The other one do not attach anything, which means haven't done it yet, and it's not turned in yet. So what you can do is, let's say that just now I click this, right? I click this student's answer. It will appear here. You see, remember that just now we attach a Google Docs, but then if they have answered something here, I'm sorry. Okay, if they have answered something here, you can just grade it right away and then put the grade here. Then you will wait until the saving is done, draft, and not return yet. Not return means the students will not know the score. If you want your students to not to be notified about their score, you can just return it. Return to your students. Remember that they can attach anything. They can attach video, picture, and it will all appear here. You can see from each students. You can ask them to attach more than one file or more than one picture, more than one video. That's about the assignment when you ask them to attach something. But this one is a little bit different. I'm sorry. This one, this is the one where you provide them with a question. They just have to answer it, right? So what you will receive is each of your students, you see from all students, these both students will have to attachment because it's the question that you gave them. But the one that have turned in should have changed their answer. Remember that just now we only changed this answer, but we do not change this one, the Google Sheets one, right? We will see. We will see both. This one is the Google Sheets. Oh, actually, you can just open one and then you can check it here. You see, the first one is the one that we changed the answer already. We have changed the answer. I believe you can, yeah, you can change it. You can change the, this is like you are putting comments in your student's work right away. Okay, and then you can just return it later. This will be like a feedback. You can give your students a feedback. Okay. And for this one, your students, just now the students do not change any answer. So the answer will still be blank. After you check both, you can grade it. Okay, my students only do one task, they do not do the other. I will just grade it as, wait for a while, I'm sorry, it's a little bit lagging. I will grade it as 50, for example, or 70. It's up to you. And then you will wait until the saving change into draft. Oops, something went wrong. Let me refresh. Sorry, wait for a while. I guess something is wrong with my connection. Here you go. Okay, so after that, I don't want to return the score. I will just leave it as a draft. You see here, it is changed right away, right? If it doesn't change, you can just refresh the page and then you will see that it is changed. The students haven't answered anything. The last is the Google form type. This one with the Google form. If you see that the students have turned in, but there is no attachment. So where can I check it? You can check it in your drive. Remember that just now we insert this pop quiz, right? Chapter 11 Google form. So what you have to find out is not this. There will be no chapter 11, but this. Remember when I told you that the one that your students will see is the title of the form, chapter 11. So it will be here. When you open it, you will be able to see the response here. You will see the response. You can see the score for each student. That's why you collect the email just now, how many scores that each of them get. You can check the summary. Summary means your whole class. The whole class answers will be here. Since I only have one student, that's why the response only one. But if that I have more than one students, it will appear another. There will be a lot of answers here, which tell me what is the common answer that the students give. That's if I see the summary. If I see the question, I can see from each question. Question number one, how many answer which answer, and then question number two, what is the other answer that the students gave, and question number three, the paragraph, or per individual. The students, just now as I told you that you have to grade it manually, right? So the first one, as you can see, that it has been graded 20 right away because he chose correctly. But the second one, the correct answer should be cute and colorful, but the answer is cute just because of the case. Let's say that you want to give them, okay, I want to give you a score, 25 or 30, it's up to you. After you do it, please remember to save it so that the score is saved. 45 out of 100 point for the students. And then this, the same thing, too short, I will give you just 30, for example. So after you are done grading it, now the score is 75 out of 100, right? Update made after release. So you can release the score. If you release the score and then you send the email and release, you can put some message on them and then you can send the email and release. Once you send the email and release, that means their email will be notified about their score, which is 75 out of 100. But in your class, if you go to your Google, let me refresh, it won't change. This is about the Google Classroom score, so you have to update it manually, 75. And then you can just return it to them. Okay, so now they will be notified by the Google Classroom, not from the email. Okay, so that's how you are going to grade your student score. What is the point of grading it? If you see here, you can see their grades per students for the assessment that you gave them. Some of them still draft. The black one means you have returned the score to them. Okay, I believe you can download the score, but it's per assignment. So let's say that you have this assignment. What you will do is you will go to this setting and then copy all grades to a Google Sheet, or you can download all the grades as CSV. Okay, I guess that's all. That's the thing that I can tell you for now. Is there any other thing? No, there is no other stuff. Oh, about the schedule, you notice that students will not have that schedule because it's not posted yet. But other teacher who is in the same class as yours can check this one, can check this scheduled assignment, I believe. So that's all for now. Thank you so much. If you have any other question, please do tell me. I will try to answer your question if I know. Okay, so thank you. Good luck with your online learning, everyone.